long and complex case, murder in the first degree. Premeditated murder is the most serious charge tried in our criminal courts. Listen to the testimony. You've had the law read to you and interpreted as it applies in this case. It's now your duty to sit down and try and separate the facts from the fancy. One man is dead. Another man's life is at stake. If there's a reasonable doubt in your minds as to the guilt of the accused, a reasonable doubt, then you must bring me a verdict of not guilty. If, however, there's no reasonable doubt, then you must, in good conscience, find the accused guilty. However you decide, your verdict must be unanimous. In the event that you find the accused guilty, the bench will not entertain a recommendation for mercy. The death sentence is mandatory in this case. You're faced with a grave responsibility. Thank you, gentlemen.
The alternate jurors are excused. The jury will now retire.
Okay, man, let's take our seats, huh?
Yeah, we can all get out of here pretty quick, huh? I don't know about the rest of you, but I happen to have tickets to that ball game tonight. Yanks and Cleveland. Yeah, we got this kid Majaluski in there. Oh, he's a real bull, this kid. You know, boom, real jug handle. You know? Boom. You're a real baseball fan, aren't you, huh? Yeah. Where do we sit here?
I thought we'd sit in order, you know, by jury numbers of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, so on around the table. That's okay with you, gentlemen?
What's the difference?
I think it's reasonable to sit in order.
Let it be. Number 12 sit about right here.
Yeah, let's we go around the clock. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
What was your impression of the prosecuting attorney?
I beg pardon?
I thought he was really sharp. The way he hammered home those points one by one. Logical sequence. I was very impressed.
What do I got besides good ground?
Say, we'd like to get started. Oh, forgive me, gentlemen. I didn't mean to keep you waiting.
Oh.
Okay, gentlemen, if I can have your attention. You fellas can handle this thing any way that you want to. I'm not going to make any rules. We can, well, discuss it first and then vote on it. That's, of course, that's one way. And, well, we can vote on it right now. And
I think it's customary to take a preliminary vote.
Yeah, let's vote. Well, then we can all get out of here, huh?
Okay, then I think that, of course, you know that we have a first-degree murder charge here, and if we vote the accused guilty, we've got to send him to the chair. That's mandatory.
I think we know that.
Let's see who's where. Okay, anyone does want to vote? Okay, then just remember that this has to be 12-0 either way. That's the law. Okay, are we ready? All those voting guilty, please raise your hands. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Okay, that's 11 guilty. Those voting not guilty? One. Right. 11 guilty, 1 not guilty. Well, now we know where we are.
Boy, oh boy, there's always one. Oh, what are we doing now?
I just want to talk.
Boy, oh boy.
You really think he's innocent?
I don't know.
I mean, you sat in court with the rest of us. You heard what we did. The kid's a dangerous killer. You could see it.
He's 18 years old, for crying out loud.
Well, that's old enough. He stabbed his own father 4 inches into the chest. They proved it a dozen different ways in court. Would you like me to list them for you?
No, I do not need to hear the facts again. First of all, let me just say this to you guys. I'm a pastor. I pastor a church. Today, my voice is under attack. So I apologize for that. It's just another way that I have to combat these demons that come my way on a daily basis. Now, having said that, I'll do the best I can with my team in explaining my position.
Well, what's there to talk about? 11 men in here think he's guilty. No one had to think about it twice except you.
I want to ask you something. Do you believe his story?
Listen here, man. I just want to talk. I mean, it's so easy for y'all to send a young black boy to the electric chair. Y'all been doing this for over 400 years. Now y'all are going to talk to me. And you're going to make me believe that he did it.
Look, what's the difference how long it takes? Suppose we do it in 5 minutes, so what?
Well, how about we take 1 hour? I mean, your ball game doesn't start till 8 o'clock.
Who's got something to say?
I'm willing to sit for an hour.
Great. I heard a pretty good story last night.
Excuse me, that's not why we're here.
I don't mind telling you this, mister. We don't owe him a thing. He got a fair trial, didn't he? What do you think that trial cost? He's lucky he got it. Know what I mean? Now, look, we're all grown-ups in here. We heard the facts, didn't we? You're not going to tell me that we're supposed to believe this kid, knowing what he is? Listen, I've lived among them all my life. You can't believe a word they say. You know that. I mean, they're born liars.
Only an ignorant man can believe that.
Now, listen.
Do you think you were born with a monopoly on the truth? I think certain things should be pointed out to this man.
It's okay, Pop. Sit down. He's ignorant and a Satan worshiper, I'm sure. I've dealt with his kind all my life. Matthew chapter 5 and 44 says that we are to pray for the sick and demented, for they do not know better.
Come on, this isn't Sunday. We don't need a sermon.
No, what y'all need is Jesus.
Come on, we have a job to do now. Let's do it.
Well, it's hard to put into words. I just think he's guilty. I thought it was obvious from the word go. Nobody proved otherwise.
Nobody has to prove otherwise. The burden of proof is on the prosecution. The defendant doesn't even have to open his mouth. That's in y'all's constitution.
Oh, well, sure, I know that. What I meant was, well, I just think he's guilty. I mean, somebody saw him do it.
Here's a woman. Here's a woman who's lying in bed. She can't sleep. She's dying with the heat. You know what I mean? Anyway, she looks out the window, and right across the street, she sees the kid stick the knife into his father. The time is 12:10 on the nose. Everything fits. Look, she's known the kid all his life. His window was right opposite hers across the L tracks, and she swore she saw him do it.
That's where you wrong, old man. 63rd and Market Street is where I used to hang out all the time. And when them L trains come riding through there, you can't hear nothing.
This L train had no passengers, just being moved downtown. The lights were out, remember? And they proved in court that at night you can look through the windows of an L train when the lights are out and see what's happening on the other side. They proved it.
Let me ask you something, though, man. You don't believe the boy's story, but you believe the woman's story. Why is that? She's one of us, too.
You're a pretty smart fella, aren't you?
Okay, gentlemen. Gentlemen.
Sit down. Sit down.
What's he so wise about? I'm telling you.
Okay, now, come on. Now, we're not going to get anywhere fighting. Whose turn is it next?
The switch knife they found in the old man's chest.
Wait a minute. There's some people who haven't talked to. Shouldn't we go in order?
They'll get a chance to talk to. Be quiet a second, will you? What about it? This The knife this fine, upright boy admitted buying the night of the killing. Let's talk about it.
Now, what happened to the switch knife? He claims that it fell through a hole in his pocket on the way to the movie sometime between 11:30 and 3:10, and that he never saw it again. Now, there's the tale, gentlemen.
You mean you're asking us to believe that somebody else did the stabbing with exactly the same kind of knife? The odds are 1,000,000 to 1.
I'm here to seek justice, not just to lock up another poor, innocent black boy.
No, listen, I don't see what all this stuff about a knife's got to do with anything. Somebody saw the kid stab his father. What more do we need? You guys can talk the ears right off my head, you know what I mean? I got 3 garages of mine going to pot while you're talking, so let's get down and get out of here.
The knife was very important to a district attorney. He spent a whole day.
He's a 15th assistant or something. What does he know about it?
Hey, let's hold it down. These side arguments are only slowing us up.
Well, what about it?
You're the only one.
Let's see if there are any men amongst you. Let's do an anonymous count this time, just to see what happens.
All right, let's do it the hard way.
Yeah, that sounds fair. Everyone agree? Anyone doesn't agree? All right, let's go. Get message going.
Guilty. 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 Not guilty.
But there are no secrets in a jury room. I know who it was. Brother, you really are something. You sit here, vote guilty like the rest of us, and some golden-voiced preacher starts tearing your poor heart out about some underprivileged kid just couldn't help becoming a murderer, and you change your vote. If that isn't the most sickening... Why don't you drop a quarter in this collection box?
Sit down.
Excitable? You bet I'm excitable. We're trying to put a guilty man in the chair where he belongs. Someone starts telling us fairy tales, and we're listening.
Hey, come on, huh?
What made you change your vote?
He didn't change his vote. I did.
This gentleman has been standing alone against us. Now, he doesn't say the boy is not guilty. He just isn't sure. Well, it's not easy to stand alone against the ridicule of others, so he gambled for support. And I gave it to him. I respect his motives. But the boy in trial is probably guilty, but I want to hear more. Right now, the vote is 10 to 2. I'm talking here. You have no right to...
Have a seat, Pop. He can't hear you, and he never will.
Mr. Foreman, I'd like to change my vote to not guilty.
You what?
You heard me.
You sure?
Yeah, I'm sure.
The vote is 9 to 3, favor of guilty.
Well, if this isn't the living end, huh? What are you basing it on? Stories this guy made up? You ought to write for one of those kooky detective magazines. You'd make a fortune. For crying out loud, the kid's own lawyer knew he didn't stand a chance. Right from the beginning, his own lawyer knew it. You could see it. Boy, oh boy, I'm telling you, this guy here is really something. Look, the kid had a lawyer, didn't he? He presented his case, not you. How come you got so much to say? Look, lawyers aren't infallible, you know. Baltimore, please, huh? That maybe some guy's mother is somebody,
He was court appointed. He could have been an idiot. He could have resented this case. He could have gave a damn about this poor black boy just like you.
I never saw so much time spent on nothing.
It only takes a second.
Okay, I guess the fastest way is to find out who's voting not guilty. All those voting not guilty, please raise your hands. Still the same. 1, 2, 3 not guilty, 9 guilty.
So now, where are we? I'm telling you, we're going to yada yada here next Tuesday. Where's it all getting us?
Pardon? I vote not guilty.
Oh.
What?
What are you talking about? I mean, we're all going crazy in here or something. The kid is guilty. Why don't you listen to the facts? Tell him, will you? This is getting to be a joke.
The vote is 8 to 4, favor of guilty.
Now, what is this? Love your underprivileged brother week or something?
the old man? Are we supposed to believe that he didn't get up and run to his door and see the kid tearing down the steps 15 seconds after the killing? He's just saying so to be important, right?
You know the deal about the old man getting to the door in 15 seconds and seeing a boy running away is a bunch of baloney. Y'all saw him dragging his leg as he was heading to the witness stand. He had a stroke last year. We all saw the diagram of his home. I'd say it took him about 45 seconds at least to get to the front door. And I believe he saw the killer running down the street and assumed it was the boy.
I think that's possible. Assume? Brother, I've seen all kinds of dishonesty in my day, but this little display takes the cake. You all come in here with your hearts bleeding all over the floor about slum kids and injustice. You listen to some fairy tale. Suddenly you start getting through to some of these old ladies. Well, you're not getting through to me. I've had enough. What's the matter with you guys? You all know he's guilty. He's got to burn. You're letting him slip through our fingers.
Slip through our fingers? Who do you think you are, his executioner?
I'm one of them.
Perhaps you'd like to pull the switch.
For this kid, you better would.
Wow. Who else feels like this scumbag? Huh? Speak down or forever hold your peace.
1, 2, 3. Well, the vote's 9-3 in favor of acquittal. I don't understand you people. I mean, all these picky little points you keep bringing up, they don't mean nothing. You saw this kid just like I did. You're not going to tell me you believe that phony story about losing the knife and that business about being at the movies? Look, you know how these people lie? It's born in them. I mean, what the heck? I don't have to tell you. They don't know what the truth is. And let me tell you, they don't need any real big reason to kill someone either. No, sir. They get drunk. Oh, they're real big drinkers, all of them. You know that. And bang, someone's lying in the gutter. Well, nobody's blaming them for it. That's the way they are, by nature. You know what I mean? Violent. Where are you going? Human life don't mean as much to them as it does to us. Look, they're mushing it up and fighting all the time. And if somebody gets killed, so somebody gets killed. They don't care. Oh, sure, there's some good things about them, too. Look, I'm the first one to say that. I've known a couple who were okay, but that's the exception, you know what I mean? Most of them it's like they have no feelings. They can do anything. What's going on here? I'm trying to tell you. You're making a big mistake, you people. This kid is a liar. I know it. I know all about them. Listen to me. They're no good. There's not a one of them who is any good. Look, I mean, what's happening in here? I'm speaking my piece and you... Listen to me. We're this kid on trial here. His time. Well, don't you know about them? There's a danger here. These people are dangerous. They're wild. Listen.
You know, this is not easy seeing in real time. I'm just seeing it up close and personal. All the injustices to black and brown people at the hands and mercies of white people in America. I've yet to get over the murder of Emmett Till, a young black boy, challenged, mentally challenged, no doubt, dragged from his bed in the middle of the night and murdered by white Americans who were identified in court and found not guilty. I've yet to get over the assassination of Fred Hampton, who was sleeping in the comforts of his own bed next to his 8 months pregnant fiance when he was ambushed and shot down like a dog by the police. They were identified in court and found not guilty. I've yet to get over the assassination of Medgar Evers, a righteous civil rights black man who was assassinated again at nighttime in his front yard for his wife and little children to witness. His assassinator was identified in court and again found not guilty, where his wife and children could witness the cowardly atrocity. Again, at the hands of a white American who was again at liberty to brag about his cowardly deed. Once he was again found not guilty. Emmett Till's family got to see up close and personal his murderers found not guilty. Medgar Evers' family got to see up close and personal his assassinator found not guilty. Fred Hampton's wife, newborn child, and family got to see his killers and assassinators found not guilty. Trayvon Martin's family got to see his killer found not guilty. And the beat goes on. I'm so glad that I'm on this jury. At least one black boy is going to get a fair trial. 1 minute in here, and all 11 of you got your hands up to send a possible innocent black boy to the electric chair. It's like having a cup of tea for you guys. The blood of my people runs freely throughout America's legal, penal, and judicial systems. So y'all might as well sit down and buckle up your seatbelts. And there ain't gonna be no eating at your dinner tables tonight. And there definitely ain't gonna be no baseball game tonight. So you can go ahead and tear those tickets up, homie. We gonna get this thing right tonight. And that's a fact. Say amen, somebody.
Okay, there's another vote called for. I guess the quickest way is a show of hands. Anyone object? Okay, all those voting not guilty, raise your hand. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9.
We're on our way. We're on our way.